angle and
Oh, good.
braiding.
Well, you know what then hurts you in the cone? That's what they call the fracture.
Yeah.
Conchoidal fracture that certain rocks, obsidian, cherts, agates, flint, they break a certain way. And so, you see where a BB hits a window, right? Makes that cone. Well, basically, different size BBs, your tools, different size pieces of plate glass window, and controlling that angle and hitting it at the right angle with the right weight of tool and the right speed of the hit. It's I equate it to like riding a bicycle. You could explain to somebody all day long how to ride a bicycle, but getting the feel of it, that's one of the things that will make I've heard people say that you won't be a decent flint napper until you break 2,000 pounds of rock.
100.
Oh, there's okay. We're down to 19. I won't break up your core. This was a nice core you had.
Oh, no. Go for it. I got lots of cores. This is all demonstration stuff.
Okay.
I'm never going to use that in my lifetime.
So, let's say this was a bare rock. Okay, a raw. Well, we can just go ahead and do that. This is just a piece of obsidian. Nothing's been done to it. This is the way it was dug out of the ground. Initially, you need to get a flake to either make. Most tools they use were flake tools. You can do your whole deer or whatever you're doing with just a flake of obsidian. I did my whole deer with one flake. Then I saved the little flake in the skull. But anyway, you look for an angle on the parent rock, or that's what I call them sometimes, that's less than 90. So this angle here is less than 90. This whole rock has a lot of faces on it that are less than 90. This is a good one here because it's away from the edge. And knowing what you're looking for, you have to kind of get a feel for it. But we want to start by just tearing off flakes. So I'm not going to be shooting to try to make any finished products here. And you guys shouldn't be either if you don't. But learning how to recognize where to tear off flakes and how to do the platform preparation. You guys know what a platform is. That's where you hit. That's where your tool is going to strike the stone, the parent rock. Okay? So on this one, I'm going to hold pressure against your leg. That's what I do. If you're right-handed, I usually use my left leg. And I either keep my elbow on my other leg or up against my body so it swings in the same place. Accuracy is important. So, platform preparation. What we'll do here, once I break off a couple, we'll just get you guys each a rock and just start tearing off flakes and not worry about making anything per se, but we can go through that too. But man-made carborundum grinding stone takes off the high points, or what they call that. Well, that's platform preparation. You want to break off what will break off easy. Because you could have a deceptive edge that looks, I can hit right there, and then if it's weak right in that area, you're just going to cause what's called a hinge fracture, which I'm sure I'll make one here. But it's where your energy doesn't go into the rock far enough, and then it breaks out, and it actually hinges out, either steps or hinges out.
So the shock wave will follow the least path of resistance.
Well, shockwave likes to follow ridges. So on this one here, the actual place I should try for my first flake, see this ridge right here? Is this little platform right here. And I will. I'll tap it there, and my hope is that I tear a flake off that comes clear over to here. And from that flake, hopefully it's arrowhead shaped. That's one of the tricks of making arrowheads. Start with a flake that's dang near one to begin with, Plus, this helps visually see where you're going to strike where you're going to hit it. Different weight tools. So, I mean, if this would probably do it, but it's pretty light, and so I'd have to hit it harder to compensate for the lightness. So I actually, when I'm tearing off flakes, I like to use a heavier mass and a lighter touch, and it still imparts a lot of energy to the rock. So I'm going to hold it against my leg, kind of pushing in, And I'm just going to try to gently pop right there. See how bad it is.
Right. Let's do it.
Well, my flake came off, but in several pieces.
So the way it crumbled because you the force.
Maybe a little out of practice. These aren't my tools. I could come up with all kinds of excuses. But then, what you do, you know, those all have sharp edges on them. If you had something to cut, they're all tools. This one guy at Rabbit Stick, I had to come home and make one, but he took an antler collar, hollowed it out, and he made like an abo X-Acto knife out of a stick that was split, and it was kind of a diamond split to where it would hold something. And then he had this collar of horn that he could slide up the stick to pinch even tighter. And he'd come over and he'd get little tiny sharp flakes, put them in there, slide that collar up, and he called it his abo X-Acto knife. And it made the... It was pretty neat. But anyway, I'm going to try again right here to tear off another flake. Not quite hard enough. Still not hard enough.
So if I remember right from last night, it's not just the angle of the rock, which is less than 90, it's the angle, your hitting angle too. The way you changed your angle.
If you think of that cone,
it was less than 90 as well, remember?
that cone is in my leg. Or, I mean, I'm only using a piece of that cone, or what would you call it? So many degrees of it.
Yeah.
And I hit, I didn't hit into the rock.
Yeah.
I hit down right here. And that's the top of the cone, so that part tears off. And now that I'm really more used to the tool, that would be number one, a tool just by itself, but it's good enough to try to work into an arrowhead. It's a flat flake. But so anyway, what you guys should do is grab any rock in here, salt, smooth rock, and I'll help you try to tear off flakes.
C. Okay, from the C, we want to go what's next?
You're going across?
Yep, going across. C, E. So we want this next one. The third one here.
Yeah, he's pushing it into his leg too. This way. Have you ever told that?
C sharp.
Just
D's
hold it on
next.
him, but...
See how hard he's pushing it into his leg?
Yeah, his hand.
Get close.
Supposedly it helps the energy go through the rock more.
Yeah, it controls, flattens out the
A little bit more.
wave.
That's why mine are curving on the end.
Okay.
What happens if you go too far?
If you go too far, you can actually take a little bit of glue.
Boy, a lot of vortex.
Toothpick and just put it on this side.
That stuff forms in limestone.
Just drops the
What,
diameter.
they find that in chalky soil, right?
Yeah, see this?
Yeah.
If I was far enough out, this would be rubbing off in my hand. It actually is.
We've got
But they'll just find a bunch of hard spots in the middle and it formed in the rock.
Yeah, forms inside the rock. Better example of that. You can almost see it on the outside
Okay,
of this.
so after
Chalk.
D comes an F.
When I started
What
that,
you do here, you skip a hole.
it looked more like this. That's what the outside would look like. You find these nodules.
Because it's this is
Those are like the White Cliffs of Dover kind of thing?
Well, this here came out of the States.
It's just
This
the way
one
you
here
have
is
to
a
do it
chert
in order
in
to
the area.
determine.
Because when I find
So this
cherts,
hole
I see
here
this with a nozzle
It's gonna be
sticking out there. I know there's something inside.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But I don't know where this came from.
So, as we go,
I'm not sure what this material is.
pretty
But
good.
inside of those,
Okay, and the last one is
there
what?
are some
It's gonna be
you can
a
get drills out of those.
G again.
So it's nice to get that probably equivalent to 2 gallon drum.
I walk around and there's plastic everywhere.
But you know what?
Good. Yeah, and so.
And pitch this in there.
Just a little bit of stuff about their computer.
Did you see the arrow, size of the arrowhead I put on that?
A good way How's it going?
Is that with you?
No, thank you. Especially not after
Free soft
crap.
You were actually here?
I didn't dress up like this and go to my girlfriend's house all night.